And in the case of a cardiac arrest, every minute literally counts. Every minute that goes by without CPR or the use of a defibrillator shaves 10% of survival chances off that person's life. Imagine how long it would take to search this building manually.
It would take a long time.
Yeah, I've heard far too many cases of where firefighters have gone into burn-in buildings. The crew, one or two members, they run out of air in the tank. They get disoriented because it's smoky. They can't see, it's dark, and they perish because of it.
I'm Philip Mason, the editor of Critical Communications Today, which, for those who don't know, is this. And we're also surrounded by multiple issues of Critical Communications Today and the Backcode Jan, which I also edit as it happens. Please feel free to like and subscribe in the description. If you go to the website, you can also sign up for your own physical copy of Critical Communications Today. We'll look forward to having you on board. I'm Philip Mason, the editor of Critical Communications magazine, which is there. We're here on the third day of Critical Communications World 2026. It's been a pretty good show. It's been a heck of a show, but we're reaching the end of it now. But we've got another full day of interviewees, beginning with Brooks Shannon, who is the Director of Emergency Communication Solutions at Esri. Hello, Brooke.
Hi there. Very, very happy to be here today and very honored to sit with you today.
Likewise. Can you talk a bit about yourself? Introduce yourself to people who might not know you.
Absolutely. Very happy to. So I work for a company called Esri. We are a global geographic information systems company. So we've been around since 1969, and we focus on really using maps in any context you could possibly imagine for, whether or not that's oil and gas exploration or humanitarian work, conservation, to what I do, which is emergency communications. So essentially what that means is if spatial data, geographic analysis, maps, if any of that powers 999, 000, 112, 911, whatever your calling number might be, as well as getting lights and sirens to the right place, as well as cooperation amongst first responders to render aid and then performing analytics after the fact, that's kind of my area. We have specialists at Esri that focus on wildland fire, humanitarian work, law enforcement, but I'm the comms person. So I'm very happy to be here to talk a little bit more about what we do and what I've learned here at CCW so far.
What have you learned? Well, you've been in here all 3 days, I see.
Yeah, I've been here all 3 days. It's been a wonderful time. It's my first time here. And I've been, regularly going to industry conferences, in former fashion since 2004. I used to be a software engineer before I came to the dark side and started working on business things. Right. But so my heart is still in code, I think. But I've been coming to the larger shows since 2014, speaking regularly since 2015. And this is a fantastic conference. The selection of partners that are here exhibiting is phenomenal. The sessions have been great. And for me, it's really interesting because I tend to normally go to conferences that naturally focus on geospatial things, GIS, or in America where I'm from, 911. Here, it's more focused on mission critical communications kind of out in the field, right? We still talk about command and control, right? But it's more field-based stuff, right? Mission critical push to talk, satellite communications, ESN, all these things. So what it's done for me is brought me to meet many more companies and many more individuals than I ever have within my role, which is phenomenal because it makes me think of all the different ways you could apply mapping technology and maybe more appropriately even spatial thinking, just thinking spatially, to some of the problems that they face. So one of the things I've been thinking a lot about in what I'm doing is in regards to mapping interior spaces, indoor mapping. And indoor maps can be used for all manners of purposes, right? Outside of public safety, folks use them, imagine you go to a shopping mall and you want to find out where your favorite store is. You can tap it on a map, you can navigate to it. It gives you indoor navigation directions and such. The operator of that shopping mall could use it to optimize the space that they have, the leases that they have, make sure that they're, allocating empty spaces appropriately and such. Maybe not heating or cooling or electrifying lighting certain spaces that are not occupied, this and that, right? Yeah. But within public safety, of course, you can imagine using an indoor map to locate someone who needs emergency assistance, right? Imagine in the hall we're in, much less the building. If you were here late at night, maybe you're part of the cleaning crew, the maintenance crew, you have a cardiac arrest, you make a call to help, but you can't actively relay where you are. Maybe you don't know precisely where you are. Imagine how long it would take to search this building manually.
It would take a long time.
Yeah. And in the case of a cardiac arrest, every minute literally counts. Every minute that goes by without CPR or the use of a defibrillator shaves 10% of survival chances off that person's life. So you can imagine an indoor map with indoor positioning, getting help there much more quickly, but also maybe more germane to this conference in particular, you can use it to help ensure first responder safety. So I've heard far too many cases of where firefighters have gone into burn-in buildings. The crew, one or two members, they run out of air in the tank. They get disoriented because it's smoky. They can't see. It's dark. And they perish because of it. There's one example in South Carolina in a furniture store warehouse fire. There was a firefighter who ran out of air. He came on his radio and he said, "Tell my wife I love her."
Right.
And his colleague
Terrible.
was not 20 feet away in the other room and had no idea,
Yeah.
right? We have to solve that. And indoor maps, indoor positioning are things that we can do. And you can imagine, radio and other communications devices that, this show is largely focusing on, they have indoor tracking capabilities on them. You can make sure that relays into a GIS system that uses indoor maps to try to find those folks.
Yeah. And we get given it in the UK. You do work with Ordnance Survey, I think, don't you?
We do. We do that with our partner Esri UK in large part. And what's great about a relationship like that is you can make sure that first responders and folks in the command and control centers have access to the richest, most powerful data that they need in order to affect emergency response, whether or not it is, a hyper accurate road and address data set that may not be something you get through a commercial source, or it might be more bespoke information. An example of that might be if you go to a commercial map that you might use on your smartphone or on the web, it may not allow you to make a U-turn on a highway or a freeway because that's a restricted U-turn, but of course emergency services can, right?
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that the maps emergency services use have all that extra data. Where I spent many years living in America in the state of Minnesota, in the winter, it was quite popular, it still is, for people to ride around on snowmobiles. And
It's very cold in Minnesota.
incredibly cold, yes. And invariably, people go to the bar on their snowmobiles. They're at the bar late. They get a little inebriated on the way home. They might wreck. And this became such a problem that they went out using GPS and they mapped all their snowmobile trails. They put mileposts along them so that if someone wrecked and dialed 911, they could get the cell phone location and dispatch a responder to a specific milepost. Right?
Okay.
That's the power of GIS and being able to work with an agency like the Ordnance Survey to be able to bring that data in and customize it to increase that not only situational awareness, but like one of my colleagues on my panel yesterday said from Qualcomm, situational intelligence.
Is that control room manufacturers, or you have a certain amount of contact with the control room manufacturers?
Absolutely. We have a large network of partners that utilize our technology that do just that, whether or not it's powering the mapping engine under the hood or it's connecting to map data services that are published through our cloud and on-premise hosted offerings. We have our own APIs. We support, open source, free APIs through like the Open Geospatial Consortium, the OGC web services. So it allows someone who either utilizes the Esri platform to create and maintain data to publish their data that someone might use, or a partner that does command and control room software, or maybe, mobile software that you use on a smartphone or tablet for fire response or EMS, to connect to all that and have that shared awareness.
Brooks, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Very honored to be here today. Thank you for having me.
Been a very interesting conversation.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, as you as well.
Who are you?
I'm Philip Mason.
And what do you do?
I'm the editor of Critical Communications Today.
Do you have a podcast?
We do have a podcast, as a matter of fact.
Can you subscribe to this?
You can,
Where?
online. Well, you can go online at criticalcomms.com.
Anything else?
No, it's about the size of it.
Sweet.